let's talk about getting started as a copywriter here in late 2022. So it's September 2022. And I just, I get this question all the time. I get versions of this question all the time. I was looking at recent subscriber submissions asking the same question or variations on this question over and over again. But I figured I would give an update today, September 2022. So if you're interested in getting started as a copywriter in 2022, this episode is going to be for you. So it's Monday, Mailbox Monday. These are the questions that I'm getting. I have like 4 in a row that I'm going to read to you real quick, and I'm going to respond to all of them wrapped up in this episode. How do I get started with copywriting? E. What steps would you advise a good writer who understands what copywriting is to take to start earning a minimum of $1,500 per month as quickly as possible? Really, it's how to get started. I'm brand new to this world and looking to do something to supplement my income and potentially be a way out from my current job. And then this one's the longest one. I'm a beginner copywriter. I'm 19 and just got into the world of copywriting a few weeks ago. My goal is to get 3 to 4 paying clients and start earning income. Question, is it getting more difficult to find clients with, I think, more people learning copywriting? If yes, how do I succeed with my goals? Context, this question may just be my inexperience and ignorance, but I'm having these worries. Currently, I'm just putting in time and effort every day to develop my copywriting skills and hope that prospects will hire me for my skills in the future. My guess to the answer is that it's both true and false at the same time, meaning it's difficult because other copywriters are also improving, but I can achieve my goals by constantly developing my skills and providing genuine value to others. Plus, there are numerous, perhaps excess businesses on Earth. These are just my thoughts, and please advise me. I'm hoping to learn something from you, Mr. Fur. From Jay. All right, so in today's episode, we're going to come at answers to all those questions, and we'll cover is competition an issue for copywriters in 2022? Growing your copywriting and marketing skills, focusing on copywriting that gets results, getting clients with a strong core offer, and the number one thing to remember as you're getting started. That's all in today's episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get more content like this delivered to you. Now for the intro. These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough. All right, so before we dive in, my sponsor, as usual, is me, and I want to give you something for free. If you're getting into copywriting, if you want to be a successful copywriter, I actually did a whole series called 13 Essential Copywriting Skills. 13 Essential Copywriting Skills. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to link you to a page where you can sign up and get those delivered day by day as an extra nice little lesson every day that you can be taught for the next 13 days to help you grow as a copywriter. And these are essential skills, whether you are copywriting for yourself, for building your own business, if you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to start something up, or if you're trying to be a copywriter for clients or as an employee, if you are trying to be a successful copywriter in any context, these are the skills. And by the way, it's not just writing headlines. Yes, that's essential. And that's not the only thing that a good copywriter does. They don't just focus on words on the page. This goes way beyond that. So let's dive into the answers to all those questions. I'm going to start with that competition one because it's worth answering up front if you're considering getting into copywriting. Is it something that's even worth getting into today? Because if there's so much competition that you could never get work, then maybe it's not worth getting into. So I'll just say, yeah, you should just stop watching this video. You should shut it down. You should not become a copywriter because no. Competition is an issue for copywriters who are unable to differentiate themselves, who are not able to get results, and who just say, I will write whatever you want me to write. Competition is an issue for copywriters who don't develop strong positioning. Competition is an issue for copywriters who are just trying to be a generic copywriter. Competition is an issue in pretty much every industry if you are generic and not trying to differentiate yourself. Okay, so That does not mean you should not get into copywriting. What you need to do, well, actually, let me first peel back the curtain a little bit. So, since the dawn of copywriting, since the dawn of freelance copywriting, let's say, copywriters have been the people who have sold business opportunity products. And somewhere along the way, somewhere along the way, copywriters who are looking for products to sell often stumble on the idea of, what if I sell copywriting as a business opportunity? And so what happens is you have good copywriters selling copywriting as a business opportunity to people who are not ready to approach it as a skill that it can take a lifetime to master. Certainly it can take years, decades. You can get results all along the way. I'm not telling you that you're not going to get results. But it is a skill where your mastery can grow through your lifetime. People who are business opportunity buyers do not treat it that way. They treat it as the next easy button income source, and they never take it seriously. They think that if they throw copywriter on a website and they ask people for money, or if they put copywriter next to their name on LinkedIn and they ask people for money, they're going to get rich. That's not how it works, but that is the vast majority of the people that you see calling themselves copywriters. It is this never-ending cycle of people coming through copywriting as a business opportunity programs and pitches who are not going to stick with it for very long, who are going to be on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And those people, I've never seen them as competition. If that's who you are and you're never going to develop your skill, your expertise, your ability to get results, your focus even on getting results for your clients, if you're not able to achieve, if you're not going to dedicate yourself to that, then yeah, competition is going to be an issue. But if you dedicate yourself to mastering the skill, to getting results for clients, to positioning yourself, to building yourself up as someone who provides results for clients through the skill of copywriting, it's not going to become so much of an issue. Competition won't be so much of an issue. As you are a novice, as you're getting started, yes, you're going to deal with some competition, but the more pro you become, and that can happen pretty quick if you are a serious student and you're very focused on growing. The more pro you become, the less competition there will be. And the closer you get to the top, the more you will realize that there is a basically infinite abundance of opportunity for people who get good at this. And so those are the main things that I want to say about competition. If you keep getting better, you will just have more and more people who have fallen behind you in that path to getting better, who are no longer your competition. And so the better you get, the less likely you will be to be facing competition. And that can happen pretty quick. Most people, as soon as they discover copywriting, stop learning about it. Most people are not serious students trying to improve themselves 1% per week, which was the original founding principle of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. I'm here trying to help you improve yourself 1% per week, because compounded through time, that is extraordinary mastery of a skill. So if you keep going forward with that in mind, the competition will fall away. The other thing that I'll say is, for all the people who are discovering copywriting, there are more and more businesses becoming aware of the need for copywriting that is able to generate results. And as that awareness goes up, the need for it goes up as well. So you want to get started in copywriting. I remember John Carlton taught this thing: get good, get connected, get paid. That's the path that you need to take. And so we are going to focus a little bit. Where do I get started to get, to grow as a copywriter or to have success as a copywriter? The foundation needs to be in your skills and your ability to get results. You need to grow your copywriting and marketing skills. And there are some fundamental things, and like those 13 essential copywriting skills that are linked in the description with this episode are a great, great, great start. And then you need to practice. You need to practice a lot. Actually, one of my BTMS Insiders members reached out to me recently and he said, I found this great quote of yours. And he said it was the best investment you can make in your copywriting skills is to practice consistently. We forget that, yes, money is an investment, but time and energy and effort, those are investments too. And so you need to practice your copywriting skills, focusing on how can I get attention from my message? How can I open my message in a way that hooks attention in the best possible way? How can I ask for action in a way that gets the most people who are still reading to take that next action that I want them to take? And then in between there, you need to focus on telling the most interesting story. How can I tell a compelling story that takes someone from that place where I grab their attention up to the place where I'm asking them to take action? How can I do that? And if you do that, like, that's a lesson I learned from a billionaire copywriter. Find the most interesting story and tell it in a compelling way. Find the most interesting story and tell it in a compelling way. I learned that from Bill Bonner. He said it to me directly in an interview that I did with him. If you can do that, that is the essence of great copywriting. Everything else falls away. And that is the essence of great copywriting. So you need to grow that skill. And there's lots of little techniques and tactics that you can learn that can add on to that can make you a better copywriter when you're doing that. But if you can tell the most interesting story in a way where you're able to grab attention at the beginning, hold it through telling that story, and ask for action at the end, that is copywriting. That is what you need to do. Now, it is helpful to also learn all about marketing. And by marketing, I mean things like campaign structure, how you approach different media, and all of that. Those things are important. So, for example, right now I'm working on a 70 plus email webinar campaign that involves multiple webinars and how to direct people into the different behaviorally triggered elements of this campaign. Some of the traffic's coming from external sources, and how are those people communicated to versus the traffic that's being directed around internally. And it's this very complex and sophisticated campaign structure that aligns very much with what I teach in my Webinars that Sell course as part of BTMS Insiders. But it's like, if you understand things like, okay, how do I do a 4-day email sale? How do I do things like that? That can also significantly benefit you as a copywriter to make you valuable beyond the words that you put on the page. So, growing your copywriting and marketing. Is competition an issue? Yeah, maybe, but then it isn't. Grow your copywriting and marketing skills. Do that. Now let's focus on copywriting that gets results. This is one of the most important things if you want to have financial success as a copywriter, is to find what your prospective clients, customers are going to value and do that thing that they're going to value. So if you want to write limericks, you want to be a copywriter who focuses on clever limericks that improve brand image. If there's not some massive demand coming from the market for clever limericks that improve brand image, you're not going to have financial success as a copywriter. I will tell you this: most businesses value more leads, more customers, more sales, more profits. If you listen to me, you'll hear me say those 4 things over and over and over again. Leads, customers, sales, profits. Leads, customers, sales, profits. Leads, customers, sales, profits. Because that is what most businesses need more of. And maybe they're trying to get that through image advertising. But in the world where all marketing and advertising is measurable and most of it is measured, those are the things that you can point to and say, I generated that value for you through my marketing. And it justifies higher fees. It justifies, performance payments, royalties, that sort of thing. And it's all about that value that you create. And so if you're focusing on copywriting that gets results, it becomes much easier to generate more income as a copywriter. Now, there will tend to be, for new copywriters, I would say, a focus on shorter copy designed to get results. And I think about this like Jake Hoffberg, a friend of mine. He helped a lot of copywriters get started in financial copywriting with an offer that was basically, hey, if you have any overflow copy where your top copywriters need to not be spending their time on these shorter pieces of copy, I'm available to help you with that. Do you have any overflow copy you'd like help with? And copywriters would approach these financial publishers. It's how Jake got his start. Copywriters would approach these financial publishers. They'd get in the door with this overflow copy thing, and they would grow their career from there and have success, including writing, big VSLs and big campaigns, et cetera, for the clients. But they would start with, do you have any overflow copy? And oftentimes it is shorter copy. So emails, can you write some emails that get results? Advertorials, which the name comes from, it sells like an ad, but it reads like an editorial. It's like an article on a page, and you've probably seen it. Maybe it looks like a blog post, maybe it looks like some news coverage, maybe it looks like, who knows, but it's an advertorial. It is designed to get results, but it reads kind of like an article, and it's presented kind of like an article. Any kinds of ads, so like Facebook ads can be an example of something where clients need a ton of Facebook ads all the time if they're very actively advertising on Facebook, because Facebook ads fatigue fairly quickly. And so you need new creative all the time. If you get good at that and you find people who are testing a lot on Facebook, that could be something that could get you consistent income. And really, with the Facebook ads, with most of what I've mentioned, you need to focus on the click. You just need to focus on the click. You need to focus on the click. You get them interested. You tell enough of a story that they're compelled to go to the next step, and you tell them to click. And that is success. And that's great. Those mediums are great because there's so much testing and so much traffic volume that goes through them that anything short like that can be a great place to learn what gets response and what doesn't, so that if you move on to things where you're maybe trying to generate a direct sale through your copy, you have an understanding of what gets people to respond. Okay, so next up, get clients with a strong core offer. You're getting into copywriting. You want to be a copywriter. You want to be a successful copywriter. Well, ultimately, where the rubber meets the road is you are going to ask a client to give you money. And so let's talk about that. So you're good at copywriting. You start to connect with clients. You got good. You start to connect with clients. And how are you going to get paid? Honestly, having the strong core offer is the biggest thing. And I do have training in BTMS Insiders. You can go look up core offer on BTMS Insiders. You can go look up webinars on BTMS Insiders. I'll include a link to the BTMS Insiders All-Access Pass in the description of this episode. It's like Netflix for copywriting and marketing training. So you just pay one low monthly fee, you get access to all of it. And when you go there, you can search for the appropriate courses. Okay, so getting clients with a strong core offer. First, you need to focus on who is your perfect client. So, using an example from before, somebody who runs a lot of Facebook ads. If you go and you start to investigate, and there's a way to look at the Facebook ad library from any page on Facebook, any business page, and you see someone is running 100 or more Facebook ads right now, well, that's probably someone who is testing a whole bunch of Facebook creative. Even 50 or more is probably someone who's testing somewhat regularly. That could be your perfect client. Your perfect client could be someone who is, somebody who is doing a lot of cold emails. Your perfect prospect could be someone, who knows. But you need to identify who your perfect client is. It's going to be based on vertical, but it's also going to be based on the type of marketing that they do. So you define who your perfect client is. You define what result you can offer them. And so I will write emails that get clicks. I will write Facebook ads that get clicks. I will write this thing that gets clicks. I will write advertorials that get add to carts. I will, whatever it is, right? What result can you offer them? And then how will you get them that result? What is the deliverable? Typically, that's going to be some form of copywriting because that's why we're here, because I said how to get started in copywriting and you clicked the video about how to get started in copywriting, right? How will you get that result? What is the deliverable? Some form of copywriting. I An example would be I write clients groups of 5 Facebook ads, all designed for the same call to action so that they can be tested against each other to determine which one will work best. That would be a great offer for a copywriter. I write 4-day email campaigns for clients that are designed to do special sales. There's certainly more sophisticated offers that I have recommended in the past that I still recommend, but we're just talking about getting started in copywriting, and this is the type of thinking that you need to go through. And you can make this all better by maybe focusing something that has super high return on investment for the client, super high value for the client. One of my strongest recommendations for building your core offer is you want it to match their current pursuit or behavior. So, for example, I find it very easy to sell a VSL funnel to clients who are already running VSL funnels. I find it very easy to sell a sales letter plus order form to clients who are already doing sales letter plus order form. But if the client, I've dealt with this like in the startup world, people who aren't direct response marketers, folks like that, I would love to work with them. They've heard of copywriters, but they don't do my style of copywriting. They want some, generic J school grad who is just able to write whatever they tell them to write. That's not what I do. So if what I do does not match their current pursuit, their current behavior, their current style of marketing, then it's probably not a great fit for me as a copywriter or for them as a client. To have a process that increases the likelihood of them getting the result can also make your offer more compelling, make it better. So, for example, my process that I laid out I write 5 Facebook ads so that you can find which one works the best for that CTA. That's a great process that's designed to increase the likelihood of getting the result. So you need to come up with a really solid core offer. And the number one thing that I want you to remember as you're getting started as a copywriter right now, at the end of 2022, or if you're watching this at some point in the future, hello from the past, the number one thing to remember as you are getting started as a copywriter is that to get started, you need one client. You need one client. And most of the time for copywriters, you need very few clients at any given time. If I'm dealing with more than 2 clients at a time, I'm like frazzled. So you need very few clients, especially if you're dealing with bigger projects. Bigger projects mean you need fewer clients. And so, or a retainer, right? If maybe you're doing something on retainer that allows you to handle 5 or 6 clients at a time, but then they're consistent. So you need very few clients, or even just one, to get rolling, to get going. And so if you take all the lessons that I have covered in this video, and it's getting long in this episode if you're listening, it's getting long. If you take all the lessons from this longer episode and you focus them on how can I get one client to start paying me to write one thing for them, well, then you've gotten started. And if you want to build up to, for example, that $1,500 in income, well, you could find one client for one project that takes less than 1 month to do that they're willing to pay you $1,500 for. Or if it's 3 clients and they take a week apiece and they're willing to pay you $500 for. I don't know. Or you could set your sights higher. You could find one client that is willing to pay you $10,000 for some campaign that they need created, and that's going to take 2 months to do. And oops, you just made $5,000 a month instead of $1,500. There's a lot of variability, of course. There's a lot of variability. But if you want to get started in copywriting, the big thing you need to do is recognize, hey, copy is able to generate results for clients, leads, customer sales, and profits. How does it do that? What do I need to put together in order to generate those results for the specific clients that I'm targeting? And make an offer to do that for them. And remember, even just one client for most new copywriters can help you reach or maybe even exceed your income goals. I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Don't forget, there's some links in the description I will include a link to the Copywriter's Roadmap to building a core offer as well, because that's especially relevant for newer copywriters. There's the link to the 13 Essential Copywriting Skills, and there's a link to BTMS Insiders where you can learn more about that investment that you can make in your copywriting career. I said I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get more content like this delivered to you. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next episode. See you soon. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.